Dun, 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 dun. Is it live? Am I live? Stupid phone delay. Hi, Sam. How's it going? 8 more days till your birthday. 7 more days till mine. Hey, hey, hey. They're like little vultures at the top waiting for some food. I'll let a little more people come on before I start ranting. My rant of the day. I hope you guys are ready for that. Big Easy in an easy being Big Easy. Are you ready for my rant, y'all? Since there's a whole bunch, just two people. So I'll start my rant. Okay, so I got up like every other day to take my son to school. Got him ready, got him dressed. There's like a little crosswalk. I drove him to school because it's raining. His school's walking distance, but I just drove him because it was raining. Um, and there was this kid. There was this kid by himself, little black boy, walking across the street. And on the side of the street, he walks across, he gets across, and then he starts throwing up little C's, like little gang signs, little Crip signs, right? And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? And he's like my son's age, like 6, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I don't want to say Lester, or he said the kid's name. And I was like, you know what? I pulled over because he was motherless. His mom wasn't outside walking him across the street. So what I did was I pulled over. I said, young blood, throwing up gang sign. I said, especially in this area, will get you fucked up. I didn't say fucked up. I said, you know what I mean? Like, that's not cute. That's not, the thing you do. And especially in this neighborhood, throwing little Crip signs and stuff like that, what I mean, will get you in trouble, will get you hurt. Especially in this area that I live in, that we live in, that, what I mean? Like, that's the rival gang, bro. Like, what I mean? Like, it's not cute. It's not, a 6-year-old throwing gang signs. Like, I was like shocked and appalled. I said, I'm not telling you this to get you in trouble. I'm just letting you know that, what I mean, that's not acceptable. What I mean? I should have said, where's your mama? Because then, that would have been, I want to fight the fucking mom. But that shit's not cute. Not cute. I'd be damned if my son's sitting out here throwing gang signs at fucking 6 years old. What the fuck? That was my morning. See, I wanted to be like, where's your mama? But, we were kind of running late. That shit got me all the way fucked up. Like, how the fuck you 6 years old throwing gang signs? Hi, Angelo. Yeah, I was kind of livid. I was real mad this morning. Little boys throw freaking gang signs. My son, yeah, he's a good kid, Mom. I'm like, okay, he's a good kid, but he's sitting here throwing gang signs at the car. What if I wasn't the person he threw the gang signs at? What if it was someone else? There's a lot of Bloods in the area. You know what I mean? Like, what if they caught that little dude? Hi, Jeremy. People need to watch their kids and watch what their kids do, because I'd be damned if my son is 6 years old by himself walking to fucking school. Gang signs are not fine, especially for 6 year old, and especially if it's a rival gang in this area. Like, usually Crips blend in this area. Delon talking about gangs in her neighborhood. No, yeah, so this is Bloods over here, you know what I mean? The people who were the red. And like, and this little kid throwing up C's and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, bro, like, don't get in trouble. Like, stay out of that shit. Like, especially after my son said that he was a good kid and stuff. I was like, I rolled down the window and I said, you throwing up gang signs, that's not okay. That's not okay to do. I let it be known. Fuck all that. That shit's crazy. Fucking kids, man. But I let it be known. I don't know. I'm the type of parent that I parent other people's kids. If I don't see no fucking parent and they doing some shit bad, I don't give a fuck. You're gonna hear my mouth. And if your mom wants to do something, tell her to come see me. So I can whoop her ass too. Oh shit. See, look. That little boy is trying to get it again. Look at the size difference. And then here comes the big one. Right, right. Like, that's their prerogative. That's your prerogative to do whatever you want to do in your own home. But when your kid is by himself throwing gang signs in a rival area, you know what I mean? You're just cruising for your son to get, hurt. What if it was someone else? That's what my whole point was, like, if it was someone else, seeing this, or, what I mean, caught that little boy, what I mean? Like, no. Be successful. Go to school. You're just learning how to fucking read. Throwing up gang signs now? Just irks my soul as a parent. Look at him trying to mate with her. I think she gonna let him hit it. Because she be mesmerized by that little fish. But that's D-Law's rant of today. Oh yeah, they're swordtails. You see, that's the daddy or the grandpa. Or it could be incestuous and have sister grandpa relationships. Daddy grandpa. There's a whole bunch of platy babies. They're like generationals in here. Like, look, there's little tiny ones right over here. There's bigger ones over here. And then, oh, by the filter. They hang out by the sponge filter and they hang out on the rocks. Kids, man. Irks my soul. Yeah, Jeremy, I think they're 60 days. Did I see Lacey commented? I didn't see Lacey. Hey, Lacey, thank you for joining my live. How you doing, girl? I didn't see your comment. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I just woke up, got dressed, got my son ready, and took him to school. I know. I was watching it eat, right, Jeremy? That her bullfrog is crazy. He went, "Rawr." He's a beast. I'm mad this light washes out these guppies. These guppies are gorgeous. I just don't know if I could do frog noises all night though. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, see. I had a cricket last semester that was in one of my business classes, and it would like the teacher would start talking and it would go, and I'm like, ah, I don't think I heard crickets in that video. May I have to listen harder. But look at this guppy. He's so gorgeous. Like, I still haven't done it. I need to take a picture of him and his brother. His brother doesn't have as nearly as pretty tail, like the tail shape of his brother. I understand. Um, that was exactly, Jeremy. You read my mind. I am not a big person of cutting fish's tail. They are susceptible to secondary infections of tail trimmings. Yeah, I'm not big on that. I mean, whatever floats your boat, but I'm not trying to have, you know, infections going around my tank. I know a lot of people who do it. That's their prerogative. I mean, they're not showfish, and I'm not trying to sell them, so basically they're just living out their best lives in the tank. I'm not big on that. No, Lacey, cutting what you do is you see how his tail looks like a heart and it's kind of raggedy at the end. What they do is they just trim it and it grows back. But then you're like this guy. If his fin is totally cut. If I cut that, you know what I mean. It will take forever. It's growing back. You can see where the part is growing back on his tail. But when you have guppies and there's a lot of fin nipping and chasing around. So, I mean. It is what it is. They're fish. They only have 1 to 2 years. I mean, if they were showfish, I can understand that. But Yeah, they're just my pets. You know, you're adding stress to them. You bring them out of the water, you trimming them, you're cutting them, you're opening them up for infection. You know, that's just my personal opinion. I'm not dogging anyone who does it. That's their prerogative. We all do stuff differently. It's okay, Angelo. This is just my quick live countdown to my birthday. So I usually stay on for about 30 minutes and go on about my day. So what is the breeding ratio for producing albinos with your male? I mean, how does it work in frogs? Is it 50-50 that they'll come out albino, or is it, how does it work, Lacey? See, what kind of irks me about swordtails is that they take forever to mature out. Like, look at him. He got his tail. It's gonna take these guys a long ass time to get their damn tail. And the males are vicious. Like, I've had them bully each other till like one dies. It's like they don't get enough food and they starve, or like they'll pick on him and I'm like, oh no. That's why I have some males in my 10 gallon, is because I can't just see him die. That's so sad. Especially being picked on. No one wants to be picked on. I know. Okay, so I seen at my local fish store, they had sunset lyre tails, and I was like, oh, I should get some. But then I had these damn ones breeding, and I didn't want to, mix the lines up. I'm ready. Yeah, I don't know how amphibians work. I know the snakes very much, but I don't know how the amphibians work. I've never been. I mean, I've had a salamander, but that's about it. But for this tank, I'm just waiting for my fiance to get home so we could not home, but like get home so we could 20,000 eggs? Wow, that's a lot of eggs, bro. Do they predate? Do frogs predate on themselves? Well, yeah, bulk frogs, right? They eat them each other. Holy crap, Batman. You guys want to go see the other tanks this morning? Let's go walk over there. Let's see how they're doing today. There's so many babies in here. Oh, and there's new babies too. Oh, I just scared them. My big fat hands. Let's see. Everyone thinks they're gonna get food. But look at all the babies. There's even new ones. I've seen little tiny babies. Focus, focus, focus. Stupid camera. I need to get a new phone. It was so hard to do a water change in this 10-gallon without trying to suck up babies. I did a water change yesterday. But look, see what I have on top? I have real plants. I have these. Well, you know where I got these from? Okay. So they came in a square thing. They came in a square. There's two different types. I got these from the dollar store. And see, I used to buy the fry protectors. You know what I mean? The floaties. And I just put that up there, and they love it. They love it. And I have, like, real plants and moss and stuff also in there. But they hide up there. Also, when you know, especially after water changes, if you put a little food in there, and they'll eat the food instead of the babies, the mothers will. That's what I found. That's my little trick. When I see a guppy giving birth, or I know she's about to pop, I made sure the tank is well fed, because they'll leave the babies alone. Yeah, there's so much different size babies in here. I think usually every water change, a mom drops or pops a little bit, because they don't let out their full load at once. They have babies in them that are growing at different rates. So sometimes you could get a batch of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, or sometimes 10. I remember one of my big females gave like 40 fry. I was like, oh shit. I woke up. Hi, loaves and fishes. I woke up one morning. I did a water change, and I woke up one morning and I was like, what are those things in there? I was like, what is that? And there were like 40 fry. And I was like shocked. What kind of water? What is your water parameters, Lacey? Because I know if the water parameters are not right, then the guppies hate that they'll hold their babies till they die. Oh yeah, they probably were stressed. Getting heavily pregnant guppies is not a good thing. Um, I remember I bought one guppy. She didn't look pregnant. She didn't look pregnant at all. Like she was very thin. Not like too thin, but she didn't look pregnant. And then all of a sudden she started giving birth, like not even after I put her in the tank. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? Yeah, so it happens. especially with, visibly pregnant guppies. They like hard water, hard water, lots of minerals. The harder, the better. Michigan, if you're gonna breed yours, you need a bigger tank than a 3 gallon. Guppies are like little puppies. They're like little puppies. They'll come greet you at the tank. They'll come up to the top. I have, hair stuff on my hand from doing my son's hair, but if I put my hand in the tank, they'll swim into my hand. They're so cute. Even my fiance was like, they're giving me kisses. Are you afraid of introducing some like functified, not functified, but you know what I mean, like some type of bacteria or like worms or parasites into your tank? Woot woot, Lows and Fishes have 100 subscribers. Congratulations, Loaves and Fishes. Oh, let me get on. Oh, let me get on another rant today. What happened? What did I do? So, so, so I don't know if you guys remember or if you guys watched. I posted like almost an hour-long video about Taylor Nicole Dean. And so, like, it was like an hour long. Well, she goes and she, like, not, it's just not me. I guess someone added me on, like, requested to follow me on YouTube. So I looked at their page. They had no subscribers, but they had a playlist of people, what I mean, talking about the things, other things that Taylor Nicole Dean has done. So I'm like, oh, wow, okay, cool. So I followed that person. And then all of a sudden her fish died. Cheese died. And I was like, I watched the video and I'm like, what the fuck is she on? Like, I smoke weed. I'm like the biggest pot smoker that I know. And, I'm in a legal state, California, so it's legal, but I've always been medical. So, what I mean? I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, but that was crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, she was on something. And then after that video, she made an apology video, which wasn't really an apology because she somewhat owned up, but she didn't. She was more, yes, that's what I was going to talk about, Jeremy. So that 40, like, she's like, my eyes are not dilated. I'm like, bitch, you're wearing contacts. You're wearing fucking contacts. Like, hello? So I'm like, you're wearing contacts. How are we going to tell if your fucking pupils are dilated? I don't understand. And then she like, oh, my fish, they're just fish. I'm like, those fish are expensive ass fish. You're talking about saltwater. You're talking about saltwater tanks. You know what I mean? Oh, they're just fish. I don't think my fish die. No. I can understand guppies. They live 1 to 3 years. Okay, you're not gonna get attached. But her fish, even the cowfish was supposed to live 7 to 10 years. And her Zazu, and she didn't even mention half the other animals that died. And her rescuing turtles on the side of the fucking street. I'm like, are you glossing over that? Like, over that mostly? Like, what the heck? That shit pissed me off. And like that whole burial thing was fucking weird. Like her whole for that cowfish and like, oh, just say stuff and she was, yeah, she looked like she was on a good one. Like she took a good hit of some shit. You know what I mean? And she didn't address everything. Like there was a whole bunch of more stuff I wish she addressed, what I mean, put it to rest, but she didn't. I was just like, what the fuck? That's why personally I don't show my face. I don't get dressed up because hell. Oh yeah, smoking a little piece. And I'm like, that's even fucking illegal in Texas. Like why the fuck would you be smoking and admit on camera that you're smoking? And then I guess she said that the Animal Protective Services or the ASC or whatever who comes every time people call on her. That bitch crazy. Taylor and Coldine. Rant alert. I always rant. If you don't know, that was my channel. Now you know. Fish and D-Law's life and ranting about crazy shit. No, I just feel that, as a woman, like I started watching her, I said, okay, cool. Like I literally had a conversation. Like we were, conversing with her. This was when she was hella small. She barely had even 1,000 subscribers. I was like, oh, cute little girl. Hey, you know what I mean? Because I love makeup and, she seemed like she was cool, but then, she seemed like she was cool or whatever. And I just felt like, hey, look, she's relatable. She talked about stuff. And I was like, okay, she's coming up. But then I realized, hey, she's using her sexual, like, it was really, I'm not blaming anyone for, if you want to come over and show your tits and ass, that's great. Like, I could do that too. And I think my channel would be, like, up to the, like, hundreds of thousands if I came over here, like, if I came with like full face of makeup and my hair done and my boobs out, yeah, I could get subscribers, but are they here from are they here from my me or are they here for, watching some tits and ass? Are they here for her content? Are you guys here for my, that's why that's why when I started my channel, I said, fuck it. I want to grow organically and people watch me for who I am. Not, I mean, maybe later on I'll get dressed up and come in front of the camera or go on camera like, just the normal self I am. But I mean, I don't want it to be, over sexualized because I'm a female and, I mean, that gets more views. If I was about that, that's what I would do, as a woman. Taylor Nicole Dean. Yeah, so like, what I mean? Like I'm like, okay, cool, I mean, whatever fucking floats people's boats, I mean, that's what people do. And I applaud, if that's how she wants her channel to grow. But then, I mean, when she starts doing the dumb stuff, yeah, when she starts doing the dumb stuff and starts mislabeling animals, people are taking a step back and are like, wait, are you really an animal expert now? Like, like I'm not, trying to say that that's wrong. And people do that. Women do that all the time. I'm just saying that wasn't right for my channel. I didn't want to be, taken as, oh, D-Law, she's very provocative. Oh, let's go watch her channel for this. You know what I mean? No, I wanted to be taken seriously in the fish community. I didn't want to just be a, another pretty face. I mean, hell, I can. If I get dressed up, I look nice. No, but yeah, I just, I'm not dogging her for that. I'm just dogging her for, she even admitted to her that was one of my main parts in my hour-long video is her animal hoarding, her, you know, purchases of animals. That was just really one thing that I just couldn't put, I had to put my foot down. Yeah, I just couldn't put my foot down. I mean, she loves animals. I'm not telling her she doesn't care for her animals or love her animals. That wasn't, what I was trying to say. And, I mean, my whole point was of her, just her animal hoarding and, her impulsive buys. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't know what her monitor was. She didn't know what her monitor was. She smokes around her satanic leaf geckos. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, come on now. Come on, Shelly. Come on, Shelly. Mad TV reference if you guys don't understand that. But yeah, so I mean, like, I don't know. I think when you don't grow organically, like I said, and I mean, I think it's the part. Well, she is very imbalanced, and I'm not, and that's another thing. I'm not knocking her for having mental illness, because shit, I have mental illness. I have anxiety. I am not trying to mental illness bash her or anything like that, but she needs better coping mechanisms to deal with her issues. Doing drugs and getting with, men that, I mean, are accused of being rapists and, uh, beaters and, just, it just irks my soul. Like, I think she could have been, sorry, I just had to get up real quick and go get me a smoke because now I'm kind of irritated. Like, she could have done a lot better. I think, like I said in my video, I think we all want to be adults and, especially when we leave, like she said in her video, that was one of my main things I said. I said, when you turn 18, you're like, fuck you, parents, and I'm going to do what the fuck I want. And especially when people have money, like, they just spiral and they just, do, and they impulse and they do drugs and, stuff that their parents, especially people with strict parents, you know what I mean? Like, I can understand. I can understand, like, that feeling of, like, I can't wait to be an adult to get the fuck out of my parents' house. Well, I left at 16, so I was already out of my parents' house at 16. I was grown ass. You couldn't tell me anything. But, I mean? I can understand, having that. But it's just sad. I'm glad that she's realizing it. I'm glad that some of the stuff she owned up to, some of the stuff I would like she would have touched on. You know what I mean? Till till Hawaiian Peacock comes, Jeremy. Aqua Blue Waters. That song, it stays stuck in my head. Me and my parents' house, I graduated. Well, I tested out of high school when I was 16. I was working, I was living in San Francisco, I was making money. You know what I mean? I was in college at 17. So, I mean, I've been very independent at a young age. You know Loaves and Fishes? I'm in Sacramento and we have a homeless shelter, a homeless community called Loaves and Fishes in in my city. They have like a like a homeless setup town, you know, like a community center where they could get food, they could take showers, wash their clothes. They have schools for homeless children with the on-site teacher. It's really heartwarming. And every time I see your name, I think about them. Oh shoot, what time is it? It's 8:29. You guys, I gotta go get ready for school. Thank you guys for joining me. I went over 10 minutes. I was talking and ranting. I didn't realize what time it was. So I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta cut this short. Thank you guys for coming in. Love you all. Have a good day. Make good choices. Bye, you guys.